משנה, נו, עשיתי דו מייג'ור 7 עם 9. אבל זה לא הוויסינג, לא משנה, אני אראה לך אחר כך.
Yet another artist that I managed to have an interview with is Ofer Pinhas from Pinhas Ubanav. I analyzed his song Pashut a few weeks ago, and today we have the privilege of having Ofer Pinhas talk to me. Luckily enough, through the power of asking, I also got bass player Lior Ozeri on this call. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, but we should do this in English.
English, yes.
How is your English, Ozeri? Do you know English?
Very, very good.
I very language. Yeah, anyway. A few weeks ago I did the episode about Pashut, about your song Pashut. And first of all, it's cool to have both of you here, instead of just one of you. Yeah, exactly. So, first and most obvious question is just about that line. How did that line, just like come to be, and how did all the other musicians react to that line, especially Mr. Bass Player?
The line actually, it started not as a line, but as a groove that I just played to myself, I think on just a simple table. I like the fact that you can hear this 5 in 2 ways. Love this groove. And on top of that, I just try to improvise and see where it goes. And then somehow this line, the bass line came, and it became really the basis of the song.
But the fact that it switches from 5 to 4 was the initial idea.
Yeah, this was the thing that drawn me to this line, to this groove. The fact that you can hear this in both ways, and switching these two lines, these two ways of hearing it, I really liked this. The whole atmosphere is suddenly changing, and you demonstrated it exactly in your video. So from there, I thought, how can I do it musically and make a song out of it? So this is not just a technical thing or or a etude or something like that. It's music. It's a song.
And how was it to play it, Ozeri? Like to learn it, actually.
Well, I don't remember exactly, but I think the coolest thing about it was like Ofer said, is utilizing the sound and the feeling that it makes, and not just as an etude of, that works on switching between groups of 5/16 notes and going into quintuplets. So the whole feel and vibe is different. For example, during the chorus, the bass line, the whole band is still playing in 5/4 times. Sorry, but I'm feeling the quintuplets because it helps me. Although it's essentially the same values, it helps me feel the groove in a bit heavier way, like a little bit more laid back. If instead of thinking about it in conk again, I'm thinking about but everyone else is still feeling the 5/4 time.
But what, when the like even when the drummer is playing the 5/4, you still feel it?
Yeah.
How
because
can you do that? Wow.
It's really easy if you're not listening to anyone in the band. And that's something I'm profound at. I'm really not listening.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing, not listening to anyone.
Oh boy. How did the other players like react to it? Was it easy to do? Because it's hard.
I think they're not listening to me as well.
No, I mean to the whole thing, to the whole concept.
The whole concept. I don't know. It came. I don't want to say naturally, but the whole band we actually worked on it. We worked on the shift just as a rhythm section, just like bass, drums, and keyboard. Working on the switch between the two. So that helped a lot because I think that usually that's what's happening when Ofer brings over like a complicated rhythmical idea. That's what we'll do. We'll just do a trio rehearsal until we figure it out, and then when we go to rehearsal with the whole band, they can rely on us.
I think that when we rehearse these things, we try to feel comfortable in it, and I think when I write the song on if it's on a basis of a complicated theme or something like that. It has to feel comfortable, at least for me, and we don't move on until everyone feels comfortable with the groove. We switching between these tempos, this counting. So I think this is the emphasis. So when we practice, I don't think we put an emphasis on counting or stuff like that. Just feeling it over and over again until we have fun with it and we can improvise over it. So we never think of it, okay, it's a complicated theme and we need to count it and really be focused. No, and this is how everyone counts it differently. Like, this is not the main thing, like how you count it, how you're supposed to hear it. No, it just gets in your veins and so you can feel comfortable and improvise over it.
I mean, once bass and drums lock it, you have the privilege of having it get into your veins, because before that, those players have to just like force themselves to do it somehow. Because
but if you play simple 4/4, you don't do this process. You don't think like you count over it. You don't do this. You just play, and you feel the groove, and you get tight together.
Yeah, but if you play a 5/4 that is divided into 4 groups of 5, and you switch to those 4, whatever, do all that.
Yeah, but it's still music. Don't get
not true.
Don't get. It's just what it is. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. No, don't get. Don't get. Don't get. Just a feeling. You go all the way 4/4 there. So yeah, the tempo is changed.
And then you need to, Ozeri, you need to go back.
Ah, yeah.
When you go back, when you're playing by yourself, which team are you on?
Well, that's actually interesting because we had this exact discussion when we worked on the tune, because what most people would do is just go back from the quintuplets to the new tempo on the new downbeat, because it's ending. Yeah. So most people would change back tempo on the 1 where it actually goes back. But I thought that for me at least, it worked better if I prepare myself for that new tempo. So what I'll do is so actually, if we have a bar of quintuplets, it sounds more complicated than it is. I'll start counting 8 quintuplets from the end of the bar, which means
like two new quarter notes.
Yeah, exactly. 2 new quarter notes at the new tempo. So actually, my last note that I'm playing is the last note I'm thinking about as a quintuplet, which is the second quintuplet on the 3rd beat. Yeah, and then I'm counting 4 and 4. So instead of going like I'm thinking
You give yourself like a pickup.
yeah, exactly, a pickup. So when I'm entering, when I'm going in on the one, I'm not. There's no kind of hesitant about. I need to lock into the new tempo and thinking about the new grid because I'm already there.
Nice. Okay, so you skip you do the embarrassing moment before.
Exactly, when I'm not playing, and I'm used to being embarrassed by not playing, so it feels like home.
Cool, no, but it's a hard shift. The shift is because it's so sudden, and the 4/4 before is so. It's like it's a 4/4, and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm doing, I'll just count the whole last bar of the quintuplets. I'll just keep my head rolling with the whole grid. So what happens? I'm just changing the accents, so that helps me a lot.
Gotcha.
I'm totally against it. What you just said. No, I wanted to say that I'm totally against discounting. Right? Yeah.
Wait, so how would you do it? Would you just?
I think we are so inside the 4/4 by at this point, so I think we just just feel it. So even if it's not spot on, and like if you put a grid on it, it's we change the tempo to the exact new tempo. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's okay because he's alone. He's playing by himself. If it was more than one player, it can be kind of weird. No, I think.
But I'm for. I love feeling the music as the listener feels it, and I think what Ozeri does is tricking it. Like you can never hear it this way.
No, but it's not. It's meant for him to play that line in a convincing way. I guess, right? That's the goal of that thing. Just to go into that line, not sounding like.
No, you're right.
By the way, that's how we do it live.
Okay. The audience loves it.
Yeah, they love that mediocrity and incompetent of playing our own music.
Don't you love that this is going to be online, Ofer?
Yep.
We have way more embarrassing stuff online, so.
When you compose those things, because I had the privilege of playing with you a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and it's not easy stuff at all. When you compose those things, do you sometimes, because I know that both me and Ozeri, sometimes we're intrigued by an idea that we can't do yet, and it's like, oh, this should be cool if I can play it, and then you practice that till you get it, and then you make something out of it. Is that the same thing for you, or do you just play, something comes up, and you just go with whatever that is?
Actually, it's rare that it comes from playing. It usually comes from an idea or a groove or a theme. Which comes from playing, but it's not. I record myself, and it's a sketch, and then I don't know.
I mean, do you when you go to write something, you like have an idea beforehand? That's what you mean?
I love exploring unknown territories for me. If it's this groove that can be heard in 2 ways, if it's a concept for a song, I like to mess around with it for quite a long time until I feel comfortable and I have lots of ideas, and then I come and try to construct a song out of it. It's not that I have something that I see up front and it's now a technical issue how I reach there. It's more an exploration process.
I mean,
so
with yourself, not with a group. It's before you.
First of all, it's with myself, and then there's another whole process with the band. So the music is composed, you can say, twice before it comes to the band, because I love I have sheet music for everyone, but then everything kind of falls apart and everyone writes their own.
How different is the initial song and then compared to the ending result? Like Ozeri, do you guys change stuff? I guess, right?
Yeah. But basically, I'm Ofer's worst nightmare because he refuses.
You're everyone's worst nightmare.
Oh, stop me! Basically, what would happen is he would send me a PDF file. I mean, at the beginning, at least, he would send me my part, but eventually he just stopped sending me my parts and he just sends me the Sibelius part file. Because what I'll do, I'll just go around and pick my favorite parts out of everyone else's parts and compile some kind of a Frankenstein's bass part, which I can't play. But now he's making me pay for it because he said, okay, that's what he's gonna do anyway, so I'm just gonna write it to begin with. and what ends up happening is that I'm getting a bass part with 2 steps of a piano part. Yeah.
And I mean, in rehearsals, I guess by input of other players, you guys change the forms a lot, or just everything a lot.
Yeah, we add sections, usually unisons that Ozeri comes up with. We change the structure, sometimes change the key because I forget to try it with Noah beforehand. So everything is very, very fluid. It's not we start a rehearsal, okay, this is the song, this is the groove, these are the chords, let's play it. It's another exploration process.
And it's a big band. How many people are you in the band?
The last time I counted was we were 9 people.
9.
We took instruments from ethnic genres, rock. We like to mix everything together, so.
And you basically stayed with the same instrumentation since you started?
Yeah, actually, yes. There are a few changes here and there, but basically, I come from I'm very influenced by classical music, so I really love the flute and the strings. So that was, I think, the first thing that began the ensemble, and it just stayed there. Sometimes we add brass and
for bigger shows or something.
Yeah, and in recordings and stuff like that. And now we have a clarinet player, so we mix it. But I think the general sound is very influenced by classical music. So that's. I think that's part of it, of the fact that we are such a large group, that I personally like to be the listener more than to be the one that plays the music. So the orchestration is, I think, when you leave me out, if you mute the piano or the keyboards, it's basically everything happens. So I think the music, I write it so I could just enjoy it, and then I elaborate and add like my thing over it. So that's why I think being in a duo or a trio, for me it would be even harder.
Yeah, I never even thought of that. Because, I mean, as a drummer, if you stop playing, man,
Yeah.
like the police is outside, just pack your bags and just leave. Yeah, you can't do that. But that's an interesting point of view. Do you have I mean, you're not done, or are you?
No, no, we're not done. There are different songs that are in different stages of productions. Some of them are actually quite close to being done, but afterwards I just record like 300 voice voice tracks. So I think this part is ahead. I think that in your channel is all about rhythm, and one of the things that are new, at least for us in this album, we of course try new things and new adventures, new rhythmic adventures, and here I stopped like counting things, and there are few songs that I don't really know, or it's not important what is the specific groove.
Ozeri probably loves
when
this.
What?
Ozeri probably loves this. Time signature, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, that's how the charges look.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to not being so focused and notating everything, and like letting the things breathe, and let's see where it takes us. So there are few songs that I think you will want to dive into. That like, what the fuck is going on there?
I mean, I mean, knowing you, and I mean, I have to say that I don't know if you know, but your group, this band, is probably my favorite Israeli band, like ever. And
out of the two,
out of that, and one of my bands. So no, but I mean, the music you guys do is amazing, and I just hope that the next album will have material for another chapter in the series.
I think it will.
I very much hope so. Do you have how do you say tzefi?
No.
Foreshadowing.
We don't.
Foreshadowing. Can you foreshadow?
Foresee.
You know, at the beginning I thought, okay, by the end of the year we'll have like, I don't know, 10 songs, and maybe we can release a new album, but it takes a bit more than that. But I love it. I really embrace like this slow moving, and like everyone takes its time, and it's איך אומרים מתבשל
cooking.
It's cooking.
No cooking.
It's cooking slowly.
Brewing. We're brewing it slowly.
I mean, it seems like you're not like intimidated of changes. So whatever happens, just happens. Kind of doesn't really matter. No.
It's not like we were made a living out of it before. So.
I just wanted to say thank you to both of you guys for doing this, and for for the music, the album. I listened to that album seriously on repeat, in like a very, very bad stalker kind of way, and man, it's still like one of my favorite just pieces of music to listen to. That whole second album, I loved. But yeah, so anyway, thank you guys for joining in.
אל תכניס את זה, אבל באמת